When you think of a hunting knife, what comes to mind? I know that on my channel, I have not reviewed a lot of classic hunting style knives just because it's not fully and completely my wheelhouse, but I felt like it was time to do a hunting knife review, and I wanted to put one on display from WARIVO knife. Stick around. When I think of a hunting knife, I think of something like the Buck 110. That's what comes to mind. Just a good old boy knife is what I call it. Something that you take out in the woods with you. You're planning on cleaning some game, doing some things around the camp. That's what I think about when I think about a hunting knife, but I also believe that a hunting knife has a certain look to it. And I believe this one falls in that category. This is the fixed blade knife from WARIVO we're going to be taking a look at in this video. WARIVO will send me all kinds of knives to put on display. In the past, I covered all of their tracker knives. I went through a huge tracker knife phase, and I reviewed theirs because I felt like they were built well, designed well, and it kind of led to me getting the opportunity to just put their blades on display. And I do a lot of YouTube shorts because I think a lot of the designs are more like novelties, decorative types of knives that don't necessarily appeal to a large audience, but this one I believe does. This is that classic design that everyone loves. This is kind of like a drop point bordering on clip point. I'll go ahead and give it the drop point since it's got a pretty flat spine for the most part, but it's got that wooden handle and it's got this leather sheath. So if you're looking for that woodsman, wilderness, country boy vibe, I think you're definitely going to find it right here. I like the equal measurements on this. It's 10 inches. You got a 5-inch handle, 5-inch blade. The specifications say that this has been crafted with D2 steel, and I would give this about a 5mm thickness, though I did not see that in the specifications. So the first thing I'm looking for in a good hunting knife is a hair popping sharp blade. Let's see how this one stands up. Shaving sharp. Yeah, nice and sharp there. Personally, when I think of hunting knife, I'm thinking about something that's going to be sharp enough to do some skinning. Taking my blade down on site to do skinning if I need to. I want something that's really sharp if I'm going to be doing that. I probably wouldn't even combine my skinning blade with other bushcraft tasks. I'll probably have another knife for that. So I'm looking for a real sharp standalone blade that can do some good slicing. I'm also looking for some good ergonomics with my hunting knife, and I believe you have good ergonomics here. I like the shape of the handle. Some may consider this handle a little fat, but I think it's got a nice feel to it. Real solid jimping on the back of this, but you could also do some notches and stuff as far as trapping is concerned. It's not a very large area for that, but you can get a little something done. Honestly, if they're going to put something like this on the blade, I think they should make that area a little bit bigger. I've noticed with a lot of budget knives, this area on the back that could be used for notching and traps and things like that is really kind of less than stellar across the board. When I used the Tops Tom Brown tracker, that had a saw on the back that could produce some decent notches. These, you got to angle it the right way. They don't do that well, but if you're in a pinch, it probably would work for you. Again, I wish that this come out a little bit further to give you a little bit more of an area to work with. And of course, you can strike a ferro rod with that. I want to give the sheath a little bit more time on the camera here so you can see that. It loops in the belt right here, so it's a side carry. I think it looks nice. As far as slicing blades are concerned, this one is pretty thick. Some may not like that. But if you're one of those who uses your knife as a pry bar, let's check out this tip. And I knew that would be solid. That's a very thick, strong tip anyway. The more I review this and handle this, the more I'm putting this into the category of a compact and strong bushcraft knife. Which means I'm gonna be good with stuff like this right here. Just don't hit your hand. kind of a thick tree, but you can see that it's barreled in there good. I should have just kept going. I almost had it cut down. I'm gonna be all right. A task like this. And that spine can take the pounding. For all my knife choppers, this thing's a little bit light. Maybe some minor stuff. It's kind of a short blade, so it doesn't really give you a good swing. So there you go. Will I throw it? I thought you'd never ask. So the WARIVO hunting knife, full Tang D2 steel. What do I think? Is it a good hunting knife? But decent. I would prefer my slicing blade to be a little thinner, but I see this as a multi-purpose knife. And I personally believe it's more of a bushcraft style knife. And I know bushcraft knives vary. There's different types of bushcraft knives, but this is just one that falls into that category of having a little tank in your hand. This thing can do some hard tasks. If you want to do some prying, some batoning, some splitting, this can definitely handle that. And it's still razor sharp, don't get me wrong, but again, it's just a thick blade. It's not going to slice like your Buck 110 or your Mora Companion or anything like that, but it will be able to do some heavier things. And on top of that, it looks pretty dang good, I must say. What do you think about this blade? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, my friend. Have a great day.